Hello Red Devils, welcome to the channel. Man United news. Marcus Rashford transfer hint dropped as Andre Onana verdict given. Manchester United are looking ahead to the summer transfer window when Ruben Amorim wants to completely overhaul the underperforming squad he inherited from Erik ten Hag. Manchester United are preparing to take on Bournemouth in the Premier League on Sunday, but already have one eye on the summer. The transfer window will open for business on June 1st, and there aren't too many clubs who need to make use of it more than United. Ruben Amorim is planning a complete overhaul of the squad he inherited from Erik ten Hag, with 6 players lined up to be sold so that new ones can be brought in. A striker or two remains the top priority, with Wolves' Matheus Cunha and Ipswich's Liam Delap among those being looked at. Qualifying for the Champions League by winning the Europa League remains a possibility for Amorim, who can still rescue his debut campaign. Champions League football would make attracting new players much easier too. Emery drops Rashford hint. Unai Emery has suggested that he would like to sign Marcus Rashford permanently for Aston Villa this summer. Villa have the option to keep Rashford for £40 million, and Emery has showered him with praise after he kept Ollie Watkins out of the side. You always need 2 strikers, and being versatile is better. Rashford is versatile. I want to have players like these two as we try to get to the level we want. I like to have players in the squad at the level those two have shown us, Emery said. I want to have the same selection problems I have had in the last matches we have played. Some players will be on the bench, but they are very important, and they have showed it this season by making an impact. That's what I want. I had more problems when I didn't have enough players to play at the level I wanted. Now I have enough to compete at this level, and we can see the difference between how we are now and how we were 6 months ago. Schmeichel gives Onana verdict. United legend Peter Schmeichel believes it would be unfair for Andre Onana to be singled out for his poor performances this season because the whole team has struggled. He told TalkSport, "It's been a difficult year. It's been a difficult year for everyone. So singling out anyone, I think that would be very, very wrong. Just look where Manchester United are in the Premier League. The players are not having the greatest time. As a goalkeeper, if you make a mistake, everybody in the world will be talking about that mistake. If you make a mistake for so many other clubs in the Premier League, they might just be in the newspaper the next day. But you're not going to talk about it tomorrow or the day after." Slot's view on Cunha. Liverpool boss Arne Slot believes United would be signing a quality player in Matheus Cunha if they get a deal over the line. Cunha is available for his £62.5 million release clause, and United are in advanced. Ruben Amorim told to stick with struggling Man United star ahead of transfer window. Manchester United striker Rasmus Højlund has come in for criticism this season, but a former Red Devils favorite thinks that the young Denmark star can still come good. Louis Saha says Rasmus Højlund is too young to be given the responsibility of leading the line at Manchester United, but can come good given time. Danish striker Højlund, 22, arrived at Old Trafford from Atlanta in 2023 for a whopping £72 million. He has scored 24 goals in 88 appearances for United, with just 13 coming in the Premier League at an average of 0.22 goals per game in the top flight. United also brought in Joshua Zirkzee, 23, last summer to bolster options up front, but the Dutchman has also found the going tough in Manchester. And Saha, who played at United for 5 seasons under Sir Alex Ferguson, insists the young strikers need help around them to improve. Speaking to Megadice about Højlund, Saha said, "He should not have all the weight on his shoulders that he's got at the moment, where like everybody is saying he should be scoring 15 to 20 goals. I've always thought young players need experienced players around them to shoulder the responsibility. Then those younger players can really learn. When I arrived at Manchester United, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer were here. I was definitely not given the responsibility straight away. Then when you have 2 young boys on the flanks like Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney, you tend to see that those guys have enormous potential, but we were all learning, so it would have been very dangerous to not have Van Nistelrooy to provide leadership. It's really demanding, and Rasmus has tried his best. You can see his motivation, but his confidence dropped to the bottom. I can't see any change if the season remains like this. He has to go on holiday to work really hard and obviously start really well, and then things can change. Football is very quick like that. United face Bournemouth today before the first leg of their Europa League semi-final, first leg against Athletic Bilbao on Thursday. So, given the amazing comeback over Lyon in the last round, can it be a catalyst for Ruben Amorim's side to go and win that competition? Saha added, I want to say yes. Normally, it's logical, but the way they did it was so erratic and chaotic. They showed great spirit, and that's encouraging, but they showed a lot of fragility. You saw that against Wolves at the weekend in the league, but it's been like that in Europe too. The deeper they go in the Europa League, the better the teams, the more resilient they are. United need to solve their problems now before they get punished in the semifinals. You need to know about the opponent's strengths, of course, but you need to begin with the belief that you're an amazing team who can beat anyone. But first, they need to solve their big problems and they can't hide. They need to prepare. Manchester United target Liam Delap's release clause officially active ahead of transfer window. Man United have identified Liam Delap as a target this summer, and Ipswich Town have just been relegated. Ipswich Town have been relegated, which means Liam Delap's relegation clause is now active. Manchester United will sign a new striker in the summer transfer window, and the club has identified Delap, who has scored 12 goals in the Premier League this season, as a target. Ipswich lost 3-0 against Newcastle at St James Park on Saturday afternoon, which confirmed their relegation to the Championship. Delap's contract at Portman Road states he will be available for £30 million should Ipswich be relegated, and the exciting young striker will not be short of suitors in the summer. United could face competition to sign Delap, who has also been linked with a move to Newcastle and Everton after a strong debut campaign in the Premier League with a struggling Ipswich. Delap has historic links to United's technical director, Jason Wilcox, who was involved in bringing the striker to Manchester City's academy from Derby County as a teenager. Shortly after joining City's academy, Delap was given his first team debut by Pep Guardiola in September 2020 against Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup, and he scored at the Etihad. Delap went on to make a total of 6 senior appearances for City, but he was sent on 3 loans to Stoke, Preston and Hull before being sold on a permanent transfer to Ipswich in July 2024. United signed Rasmus Højlund from Atlanta in a deal worth up to £72 million in 2023. Højlund enjoyed a good first season at the club, but he has struggled for goals in his second year. Højlund has scored just 3 Premier League goals this season and his confidence has been shattered. He has looked burdened by the expectation at United. Although Delap is just 4 days older than Højlund, and some have questioned whether another young striker should be a transfer target. Xavi Simons. Should attacking midfielder sign for Manchester United or Liverpool? It's unusual to suggest that a player who has already played for Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain is gearing up for a career-defining move to one of the elite European clubs. But Xavi Simons' career thus far has in itself been unusual. The in-demand Dutch attacking midfielder only celebrated his 22nd birthday in late April, but already he has had spells with the aforementioned duo of continental megapowers as well as PSV and RB Leipzig. Now, Simons finds himself wanted by Liverpool and Manchester United this summer, while Bayern Munich, as is ever the case when it comes to the Bundesliga's best young talent, are also lurking. I'm still a young player. I have many dreams, and the club knows that, Simons told Sky Germany recently when asked about the rumored Premier League interest. But right now, the most important thing for me is to play well in the upcoming games. Then we have the international matches, and after that we'll sit down and see what happens. RB Leipzig only signed Simons in January. He'd been on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, whom he joined as a youth from Barcelona, only to then be sold to PSV in 2022, and then bought back a year later, since the beginning of last season. The German side forked out a reported €50 million, with potentially a further €31 million in conditional add-ons, to convert his stay at the Red Bull Arena into a permanent one. Only it seems like it won't be all that permanent after all, with Leipzig now looking to turn a quick profit on the 26-cap Netherlands international. According to Sky Germany reporter Florian Plettenberg, Leipzig have set their asking price for Simons at €80 million, £68 million. That would represent a hefty outlay for Liverpool and United, especially for the Red Devils, who have so much rebuilding work to do while being hamstrung by the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. But the Amsterdam-born star's form over the last 3 seasons suggests he'd be worth the investment. Known around scouting circles as one of the best young talents in Europe for much of his life, the Parc des Princes was always going to be a difficult place for Simons to make his first-team breakthrough, owing to the wealth of attacking talent Neymar, Kylian Mbappe and company. Already there and the club's desire to compete on all fronts, domestically and in the Champions League. He was technically a Ligue 1 title winner with the Parisian side, but he only made 7 appearances in the French top flight before a switch to his homeland with PSV. That's where Simons' top-level career took off. He scored 19 goals and registered 8 assists in his maiden Eredivisie season and was named the Dutch Player of the Year, after which PSG triggered a buyback option to return him to France. Next came the loan to RB Leipzig. 8 league goals and 11 assists last term have been followed with 9 goals and F.